Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we're going to go through some affordable work knives. If you are working any sort of job, whatever the job is, and you need a pocket knife, I'm going to show you some options that are under $100. Starting it off, we have GANZO. Now, this exact one, they don't have anymore, but they have versions very similar to this, almost identical. There's just little tiny differences. I'm going to link them all down in the description. There's a lot of great options. They have some options that are like similar to Spyderco's and stuff like that. Now, they're not clones, but they are definitely stealing the design. And I really don't like that, but they do have some phenomenal work knives. And if you're in the price range between $20 and $30, then GANZO is the way to go. They're absolute tough knives. This knife I've had for years, and I have just absolutely beat the tar off of it, and it is still going strong. Crossbar locks are very, very strong. They have liner locks and crossbar locks, so, you know, depending on what type of locking system you want. They also have them on washers, they have them on bearings, so there's a lot of options with GANZO for affordable price, and you're getting really good materials. This one's 440C and G10, but this thing was like 18, 19 bucks. So 440C for that price is amazing. I'm happy with that. It's basically like a 9CR. Now, with work knives, you're gonna want one of three or one of four blade shapes. You're either gonna want a sheep's foot, a Wharncliffe, a spear point, or a low tipped drop point. Those are the only blade shapes for the most part. Obviously, there's going to be some nuances. There's going to be some Tontos out there that are okay, but for the most part, those are the best. Now, there are going to be some specific jobs that require certain type of blade shapes or specific blade shapes, like sometimes electrical work. A hawkbill blade works really good for that. It also works really good when laying carpet or vinyl flooring. Now, if you're going to want something that pries, you're going to want something with a thick blade stock. Sheep's foot blade can work really good a lot of times in that occasion, but I do recommend cold steel if you're going to be really bearing down and doing any sort of real hard use with prying and things like that. There are a lot of other blades that can handle light duty prying, like even the GANZOs we were talking about earlier can handle some light duty prying, but if you're going to do anything serious, you're going to want a thicker blade shape or thicker blade grind. Now, if you are wanting something from the USA, but you don't have the money to spend over $100, check out the Leatherman Free. This is the K4 Free, comes with a sheep's foot blade with a nice hollow grind. I believe this is 440C. I'm not 100%, but I think that's what it is. But it's very easy to manipulate one-handed. It has a magnet lock. And it's very easy to manipulate one-handed. You can even swing it shut. It does take a little bit to get used to, but then you also have these tools back here that you can do one-handed as well, and you pick which one you want, open it up, and then it locks in place. So now to unlock it, you move it this way, and you unlock it. So it's pretty cool, and it's like 70, 80 bucks, but it's USA made. So if you're trying not to go overseas and you want something from the USA, the USA knives are gonna be over $100 in most cases for the better ones. Civivi PRAXIS. Of course, I am recommending the Civivi PRAXIS, but even more so, I'm going to recommend the Civivi BAKLASH. I do not have one. I gave it away because it is that awesome, but they have nice deep hollow ground drop point blades, and you can get them right now for the most affordable price ever. And once they're sold out, I'm pretty sure they're gone. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued, but it's an absolute must buy if you need a work knife. That is one of the best work knives ever created. That and the Civivi PRAXIS right here. But the Civivi PRAXIS, is like 44 bucks or something like that, while you can get this BAKLASH for like 20 something dollars right now. So phenomenal price. And it's an awesome knife, man. Awesome action, great geometry, great blade shape, great ergonomics. And, speaking about ergonomics are very important with a work knife. You want to be able to push forward, do utility cuts, and that's why the blade shape matters. And then in many cases, you want to be able to cut backwards. Now, sometimes flipper tabs can get in the way of that, but as long as you can do it, that's what's important, because you never know if you have like a strap, you have to get behind and you have to cut. So this is the Civivi PRAXIS, and it does not have the hollow grind. It does have the flat grind, but it has a beautiful spear point blade, G10 scale. Also Also, if you want to comfortably carry your EDC stuff, I will link some of these down in the description. They're just EDC organizers, so you can carry a pen, you can carry a pry bar, you can carry a pocket knife, or maybe even your multi-tool. So it makes it to where you can carry them on your belt. Now they do have different belt options to wrap it around your belt. You can slide them in and through, you know, and back through, or you can do the wraparound. They have keychain holders, or key holders. So lots of different options from this company. Like I said, I will link them down in the description. This is really thick, heavy duty leather, very well stitched, really good quality. I can't believe how affordable these are for the quality of the leather and everything. So like I said, if you're interested, check them out down in the description. The PRAXIS has really good flipping action. Very smooth on the drop. It is running on ceramic caged bearings, deep carry clip that is reversible, TA hardware all the way around. And this one is in 9CR18 MOV steel. So next is the Kubey Momentum. Now, like I was saying just a minute ago, the blade shape and ergonomics are super important with the work knife. This has both of that. You can turn it around and cut straps. You can cut forwards. You can do utility cuts. You can stab it into things. It's very, very ergonomic, and it has a fantastic blade shape. Because it uses a front flipper instead of a back flipper, there's nothing in the way right here for you to get nice and tight to the edge, which is nice. So it is riding on ceramic cage bearings and has G10 scales, deep carry clip that is reversible, and the blade steel on this one's D2. Pretty sure it comes in AUS 10 as well, but just a fantastic work knife and something that I definitely recommend to most people. Now, if you're looking for precision, okay, if you're looking for precision, what I mean is you're not looking for toughness at all with the blade. You want precision. Check out the Kubey KU122. There's a reason why Spydercos are so popular with their leaf-shaped blade shape, especially for work. It's because it's so useful. So this has an extremely useful blade shape. This leaf-shaped blade shape's very pokey, fantastic for utility cuts. It's basically just a low-tipped drop point blade, but it's super slicey. You can get a full 4-finger grip, so you can, you know, bear down on it if you need to. You can cut straps, you can do utility cuts. It's a great little knife, but where this thing shines is utility cuts. So if that's what you're doing a lot of, like opening things up, tracing things out, then check this one out. Now, we all should have a utility blade with disposable razors, right? That's a must. Anybody who works on the job is supposed to have a utility blade. But the utility blade is separate from your pocket knife. The utility blade is used for cutting aluminum and cutting things on concrete, you know, cutting things that when you're just going to destroy your blade, you're going to want to toss it out and put a new one back in. Your pocket knife is for everything else. Cutting straps, ropes, breaking down cardboard. Maybe, you know, the razor you're using, the blade's not long enough, so you need something with a longer blade. You know, there's many, many reasons why you might need a longer or bigger blade, and you might not have your utility blade on you because it should be in your work pouch. So having a pocket knife on you at all times, in my opinion, is a must. Next is the Civivi ELEMENTUM. I personally love the button lock. It is a gravity knife, but it's not labeled as a gravity knife because it does have a deployment option, which is the button and you swing it out, and you can push the button and flick it if you want. But normally I wouldn't recommend button locks for work knives, but in this case I do because it's a different kind of button lock. This has a liner that has a disc that drops behind the blade. So there's no plunge. It's not like conventional button locks. So the lockup is a lot stronger and it locks in the closed position. So you don't have to worry about it popping out if you're jumping out of the back of trucks and things like that. Again, the blade with the ergonomics is so important. You can easily cut straps backwards, you can cut forwards, you can stab downwards, you can do utility cuts, all extremely, extremely comfortably because the blade shape is so, so good on this. Now, they recently dropped the WHARNCLIFFE ELEMENTUM. Now, this one is the regular size one, while this one's the larger one. So if you're wanting something with a utility style blade, check out this. This is awesome. Not only did they put another deployment option on there, but the WHARNCLIFFE blade is nice and thin geometry, nitro V steel. This one has 14C. So either one of these are fantastic, but this is just an awesome work knife all the way around, as long as, you know, it's not a hard use. Now, the next one I would recommend is the QSP Penguin. So the QSP Penguin, there's so many different options with the Penguin. So they go anywhere from like 30 bucks all the way up to $100, shit, all the way up to $200. But you know, you can get a lot of different options, you know, from the $30 to $100 mark. So tons of options from the QSP Penguin, lots of different blade steels, different handle materials, lots of options. But the base model's like 33, 35 bucks or something. You're getting micarta and D2 steel. So, and it comes with a sheep's foot blade. It's kind of a modified Wharncliffe blade, but it's going to give you the utilitarian purposes or utilitarian work. And you can slice with it, you can turn it around and cut straps with it, because the smaller one does not have a flipper tab. It uses just thumb studs, so there's no flipper tab in the way. But you can get a large one. I'm not sure if they're under $100 or not for the large ones, but yeah, there's so many different options. I'll link everything I can down in the description. But the QSP Penguin, even if it's the regular one, is an awesome, awesome choice. Now, if you are doing hard use, I do recommend something with a crossbar lock. This is the Drop Bear. The Drop Bear is a phenomenal knife. The KIZER Drop Bear, it's right under $100 for the micarta and 154 cm option. But it's just a ridiculously good knife all the way around, and it has a nice tough lock. Now, the ESCORT I would normally recommend, but I'm not, because I think the tip's just a little bit too high, kind of like the KIZER Brat. Now, if the tip doesn't matter to you as much, you know, and you're not really doing utility cuts too much, then the KIZER Brat's a great option, as long as you're not going to hard use it, because it is on a conventional button lock. While they do a really good job with their button lock, I just don't really recommend it for, you know, for work. But, you know, for regular EDC, it's fine. But this is an integral, very, very comfortable in the hand. This is an awesome knife, a fantastic knife. And it's not that their button locks aren't strong enough. It's not that. It's just that some of them are not. Some of them do, the plunge tends to, it can slip under serious pressure, and other ones can hold up rock solid. So just for that reason, I hesitate to recommend it for work, where you're going to be bearing down on your knife and putting your knife through its paces. But again, for an absolute beater knife, check out GANZO. Like I said, between $20 and $30, it's a knife. If you lose, drop, break, doesn't really matter. And I think it's going to serve you well. There's a lot of options. So work hard, stay tough. You know society's relying on you. Until next time, peace.